What is going on, everybody? We are here with the first UFC podcast picks, things, whatever you want to call it. But we are live. And we're going to be doing the UFC Fight Night Holloway versus Rodriguez picks. From here on out, we'll have an overall record. But today, we don't have an overall record because it's our first picks all together. But usually, we'll have an overall record. And the goal, over 80%. That's the goal. That's what I'm setting for us. I think we can do it. I bet you if we took all of our overall records in the past, I bet you we'd all be at least 80%. If we're not 80%, we're really close. So, yeah. So, we're going to get right into this. We're going to go with the first one. We'll do this order, okay? Just the way I'm looking at it, the way our face cams are for me is the way we'll do it. I'll go first, then Jake, and then Dad, and then we'll do who you think's going to win, right? That's the main thing. We're just trying to get who we think's going to win right. That's the main objective here. But as an add-on, we'll say how, and you could discuss the file a little bit, some add-on things you would like, if anything here. All right, so first up on the prelims here, we got Kennedy Nazaski-Kwa versus Dan Zhang. Zhang is negative 120 favorite right now, and it's a close fight because Kennedy's only plus 100 dog here, but I'm going to side with the favorite barely. I think it's going to be a really good fight. I'm going to side with the favorite, and I'm going to take the old Koreans boxing here. And I'm going to actually go for a knockout in round 2. Even though that other guy's 9-1, and he has a good chin, I think this is where this will be his first, I think, TKO loss for Kennedy here. Jake?
I'm going to take, I think it's pronounced Inchukwu or something.
Kennedy. Yeah,
I don't know.
Kennedy. The other guy.
Yeah. I'm taking him.
Okay.
And my main reason is because the other dude has a draw with Sam Alvey on his record right now.
Okay.
So I don't like that. And they're both kind of knockout artist type of guys. So I'm going to go with Inchukwu, but in a good fight.
Okay.
Probably decision. I'm actually going to say decision.
Okay, so we're already picking different. That's cool. Okay. All right, go, Dad.
The Kennedy guy, he's got the size on or ever how you say I guess is how you say
Dung.
Yeah, the Korean.
Yeah,
he's got reach, he's got everything, he's got power, but he don't have boxing and he don't have the IQ.
I agree with that.
So he don't. So I'm going with the Korean.
Okay, all right. So 2-1 Korean. Jake's going with Kennedy here. All right, so let's go on to our next fight here on the prelims. It's Mark Dakis versus Raphael Alves. I got Mark Dakis at the negative 190 over the plus 160 here. Going with the favorite again. I'm going by decision. I'm a little bit more confident than this one. The other one, still not completely confident. There's good fights all the way up and down this card. But I'm going to go Mark here in decision. I think he peppers him really the whole time. I don't see a path for Raphael to win this fight. Jake, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm also going to go Mark. His opponent is really new to the UFC, and he has a pretty bad record considering he's new.
Yeah.
So I can't bet on someone like that. It's pretty simple.
10 losses early in your career. That's just too much for me.
Yeah. And he only has 19 wins, I think. You can't pick that right now.
No.
He might look good, but I can't pick it.
No. Dad?
Alves or whatever. Alves.
Yeah.
He's 19-10. Dakis 14-4. What I've seen on that dude, he's got some power. Alves does, but the favorite is Dakis, and that's who I'm going to take.
Okay.
Dakis.
All right, so we're Dakis across the board here. Moving on to our first women's fight on the card. Still here on the prelims, it's Courtney Casey at a negative 240 favorite, going on against Lena Jajua. Yeah, sure. At a plus 200. Yeah. Courtney is 9-9, man. And she's the favorite by minus 240. That is wild. That shows you a lot about the other girl. And I'm not going to try to pronounce her name again. And I won't have to because I'm going Courtney Casey. I'm going with your classic. I think this will be the most boring fight on the card. By a mile, I think this will be the most boring fight on the card. I think Courtney Casey either outstrikes her or just lays on her. boring. I don't think no one gets rocked. We might not even see blood in this fight. They might not even hit each other. But I think Courtney breathes on her more than the other one, and they give it to her. Jake?
Yeah, I'm also going with Courtney Casey. I think it's kind of a toss-up, though. But Casey's opponent is also new to the UFC, and I usually don't like taking someone that's new to the UFC, especially if it's some women fighters are kind of meh anyways. So,
Yeah.
And they're both coming off losses, but yeah, I got to go Casey.
All right, Dab?
Yeah, both of them, they're both bad.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not in a good way, terrible. But Courtney Casey's been around for a long time. She's been around for a while. And she's got a little bit of striking and a little bit of grappling, but the other girl just don't have anything. I mean, she don't have no power. She don't have anything. So, yeah, I'm going to Courtney Casey here, but...
All right, so we're going with the favorite here, Courtney Casey across the board. Going into our next fight here on the prelims, one I'm actually a little bit excited for here is Sean Woodson. He's a pretty good prospect in the featherweight division at the negative 330 spot, and he's going against Colin Aguilin, who's trying to put all that hype to shame at the plus 260 spot. I'm buying into Woodson. I like Sean Woodson. I like Sean Woodson big in this fight. Don't think it'll be close. I think it will be decision, but I think it'll be one of those things where I'm going to rely on Colin's chin to get him through this fight, as I think it being 3 rounds favors him a lot. But I would not be shocked with a doctor stoppage here. I don't think he'll go out or anything like that, and I don't see a submission, but I think Sean Woodson will beat the crap out of this guy. Jake, what do you think?
Yeah, I also have Woodson. By record and stuff, you would think it's going to be a close fight, but then you look at the spread. And I'm kind of picking off the spread here a little bit, so I'm going to Woodson.
Okay. Dad?
Yeah, Woodson. I looked both of them up. Yeah, like Jake said, they're both close, 8-1, 8-2, or whatever it is. But Woodson's he's big for the class. He's a sniper.
Yes, he is.
So, yeah, Woodson.
All right, so moving on to our next girl fight here on the prelims, and that's Canty Calvillo? Is it Caitlin? Is that how you pronounce
Calvillo.
it? Yeah, whatever. Calvillo versus Andrea Lee here. Calvillo is a negative 130 favorite here, and Lee is the plus 110 favorite. Pretty close odds here, almost close to a pick'em. I still like the reason why this fight is so close is because Calvillo has been in the UFC a little longer, a little bit more experience, and I'm gonna roll with that. I'm gonna roll with another pretty boring fight here for the women's division, but I think that she will out-wrestle Lee in most parts and striking. I think she is the better fighter overall. I'm going to go with decision here for Calvillo. Jake?
Yeah, I'm also going Calvillo, mainly because her opponent has a really bad resume and has lost 3 over their last 5 fights. So I'll go Calvillo with experience, too.
Yep.
Yeah, Calvillo. She's just... Her takedown's pretty good, but her striking's okay, but the other girl's she's not. She just can't put nothing together. If you go back and watch some of her fights, it's like she struggles to put it together.
Yeah.
But, that's who I'm going with, too.
Yeah, there is potential, though, with Andre Lee. There is. Yeah. If she comes out and fights her fight,
yeah,
I do think that she could be better than Calvillo, just not right now. But
she just can't.
Andre Lee has more potential. Yeah.
Yeah. And she have no takedown defense, if you'll look.
Yeah, she doesn't. All right. Headline of the prelims here, we got Thiago Moses versus Joel Alvarez. Thiago Moses coming in at the minus 260. Pretty favorited there. But that's more that money line's more respected of the people with Thiago Moses has fought. He's fought everybody in that division. Versus Joel Alvarez, who's a hot contender here at 18-2. He's the plus 210 underdog. I'm going with the dog here. I'm going Alvarez, and I'm going on a shot right here. On a shot. I think he catches him early. I think he hurts him. And while he's hurt, I think he tries to scramble, and he goes for a shot, and I know Thiago Moses is good on the ground. He's good at submitting. But I'm telling you, Joel Alvarez is going to submit Diego Santos in round one. And put the lightweight division on notice. We will be out of this whole card. At the end of it, people will be saying, I know who Yoel Alvarez is, and he has made his name. He'll have a number next to his name. That's my opinion. Here we go, Jake. You roll.
Yeah, I'm also taking the dog.
Going with the dog.
Alvarez. Yeah, this is my big upset pick.
Nice.
Moises he held his own against Islam until the very end, but I like Alvarez. I think he's a good contender. He's like 100% finish rate, and I think he'll keep that finish rate 100% after this fight.
Dad, saw you shaking your head. You disagreeing?
Well, they're both good grapplers.
Yep.
Good kick, good striking. You know,
yep.
They both. Alvarez has got good boxing, so I got to go against you boys.
Okay, going Moses.
Boys,
going with the favorite.
I'm going with the favorite. He's got power. He's fought who's who in that division. I just think that'll get him past this guy.
Okay. It's not a bad pick. I think if you are a betting guy, though, minus or plus 210's way too much. Way too much for this fight. You want to sprinkle a little salt on that magic right there. I would not blame you one bit. Yeah. Yeah. But, all right, moving on to the main card. First fight on the main card, we got Song Yudong coming in at 17-5-1. He's a minus 135 favorite, and he's going against Julio Arce at 17-4 at the plus 115 dog here. I'm going Song Yudong, and I'm going mildly. I know this is kind of a limp. Easily, I want to say. I think he'll be decision, but I don't think he'll have too much problems in this fight. For as close as the spread is, I think that's a little disrespectful to Song Yudong. I think it could be a little bit wider, but not too much. I'm not saying this is going to be a super easy fight for him, as again, I don't think he's going to finish him or anything. But I think by the end of it, it's going to be a 30-27. I think all rounds will be competitive, but I think it'll be a 30-27. Jake, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I also got Song Yudong in this one. I think his resume kind of speaks for itself. He's beaten some other pretty decent people like Cheeto Vera. He's beaten him, and forget his name. He's beaten another pretty good guy.
Yeah.
So I got to go with that. And I do think the spread is a little bit disrespectful to him, a little bit. So I think it should be a little wider, but I'll go with Yudong.
Dad?
I think this fight here is the best fight on the card.
Okay.
I do. I think it's and I'm going to go Yudong, but a little tidbit for everybody that don't know about Yudong. He didn't go to school like everybody else goes to school. He went to a combat school when he was little.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I mean, you'd think he was the baddest thing around, but he went to a mixed martial arts school, and I was looking it up when he was little. So, and he went to he's had boxing and combat, so it's always been in his life. And then not, people talk about how much it's always been in their life. It's always been in his life for sure. But yeah, I'm going with.
All right. Okay, moving on to the next main card fight. And this one is newer, late notice. And I'm excited for this one, man. This is Miguel Beza. He's 10-1, a hot prospect at negative 150 favorite. He's going against Chaos Williams at 12-2, who was also a little bit of a hot prospect, but I think he lost his last fight maybe. Chaos Williams has a problem where he can't get really over the hump at the and he's also the plus 125 dog here. I'm going Miguel Baez, and I'm going with a starch in round 2. Shadow round. Out.
Wow.
Jake, who you got?
Yeah, I also have Baeza, and I think it's going to be a pretty close fight, actually, based on what I've seen with both fighters. And they're both pretty well-rounded, but I think Baeza is kind of a harder prospect, and I think he'll take the W in the end of the day.
Okay, Dad?
Baeza, he's technical. That's what I've seen. He's technical, but I'm going with Williams.
Okay, going with the dog.
Yeah, he's got power. I'm going with him.
All right. Moving on here to the next fight on the card. It's the last women fights on the card. This is Felicia Spencer at the minus 300, huge favorite here at an 8-3 record versus Leah Letson, 5-2 at the plus 240 dog here. Felicia Spencer, I think she's a lot of people when I was looking this fight up was thinking minus 300 is a little crazy, but the other girl's been out for so long, and
Yeah.
Felicia Spencer just literally not too long ago went 5 rounds I think with Amanda Nunes. Like went the whole distance. I mean, she got her eyeballs beat in the whole time, but she went the distance. She didn't go out. That tells me no. If Amanda Nunes ain't finishing you, nobody ain't finishing you. I mean, that doesn't mean you're really good or anything. That just means you have a good chin and good submission defense. So,
Yeah.
if that's the case, I think she's a better fighter than Leach. I'm going Felicia Spencer, and I'm going by dominance with a submission in round 1. I think she gets her early, and I think Ringruss gets old Letson here. Jake?
Yeah, my reasoning's pretty simple for Spencer to win is because the time that Letson's been out, I actually don't think you can take a win off that against someone like Felicia Spencer. So
Yeah. Dad?
Yeah, I'm going with y'all. I think Spencer gets her on the ground, choked her, arm bar, whatever, knee bar, whatever it's going to be.
Yeah.
She's good on the ground to what I've seen. And like you said, she's pretty tough too. The Letson's been out too long. It'd just be straight up luck if she win.
I agree. All right, going into the co-main, we got Ben Rothwell, the man himself, 39-13, the minus 160 favorite, and he's going against, Lord help me, Marcos Rodrigo de Lima at the plus 135 dog. He's 18-8-1. Man, I got Ben Rothwell all the way. I do have decision, but I'm going all the way, though. I think he handles this fight pretty easily. I got a fatty 30-27, maybe in a 10-8 round in there. But the only reason I don't have a finish is Marcos. He has some jiu-jitsu background. I think it's enough to defend off the ground, and his chin's up there. And Ben Rothwell don't hit necessarily super hard. He's actually a pretty good boxer, beat it all. But I'll go Ben Rothwell here in decision. Jake?
yeah, I also have Ben Rothwell in decision. I just think he's too well rounded.
Yeah.
For old Lima to handle. So
Dad?
Yeah, Lima's got some kicks and a little bit of power and stuff, but he got what I've seen, he's gassed out pretty easy. And if you look at his record, what he's won and what he's lost, his last 6 years, I think I was counting Hunter S. It's lost, win, lost, win, lost, win, lost, win. For the last 6 years, it's crazy. But yeah, Rothwell's fought everybody. And him and his belly's going to win. It's like taking on 2 people.
All right, and we are on to the main event of the evening. We got Matt Holloway, 22-6, the minus 650 favorite. Ridiculous. No fighter should ever be favored over minus 500. Versus Yair Rodriguez at 14-2 and the plus 475 dog. Man, as I just said, there should never be a fighter that should be minus 500 over just because you never know what's going to happen, especially in the UFC where everyone's at least a little competitive, you would think. But I think if there's, I think Matt Holloway handles this fight. I think he's better at striking. But I think the way, if Yair Rodriguez, because I think we're all going to go Matt Holloway here. So I think if Yair Rodriguez does win this fight, it would be by he throws a lot of crazy things when he's in the cage. Superman punches, things off the cage. I mean, like, just stuff you can't even pronounce. It's just crazy stuff.
It's really tricky.
Yeah, and I think if he does win, it'll be by he just catches Matt Holloway and starches him. Something crazy happens. Like, he runs off the cage, backflips off of it, grabs his neck and submits him while he does it. Or something like that. If that happens, hey, hats off to Yair Rodriguez, and I'll be here chanting for it. But I'm going Matt Holloway in decision. I don't think he'll knock him out. Pillow hand special. And, yeah. But I do think we'll see some, how I really think it'll go is I really do think we'll see Matt Holloway piece him up pretty bad. Decision. But I think he'll be screaming. He'll be doing this thing where he screams and something. And I'll let you guys make your pick, but then I want to say something afterwards again. Go ahead, Jake.
Yeah, I got Holloway. His boxing is really good, but I also have him in 4th or 5th round, maybe doctor stoppage, something
Yeah.
like that. Because I don't think Holloway hits, or maybe TKO, probably more likely. But the way he's beaten Ortega and guys like that, where they've had to stop the fight, and they should have stopped the Calvin Kattar fight.
Mm-hmm.
He could not finish them. They had to say, no, you're done. This
Yeah.
guy's beat up too bad. So Holloway in a late stoppage. But I think if Rodriguez wins, it's off a head kick. I've always heard his kicks are his thing. It's a head kick.
Okay.
But he ain't going to win. So it don't matter.
Dad?
Yeah, I went back and watched some fights, and that's it. The kicks, he's really tricky. And he ain't fought he ain't fought since October 2019. I'm the same way. I think if he gets Max, it's going to be in the first round. He's going to catch him, kick him in the head or something, like that. But yeah, Max just gets better as the fight goes on. He puts pressure on people, and his hands are just too good. I think Max Holloway all the way.
Okay. What I was gonna say was, Max Holloway always does that thing that when he beats people so bad. I went and watched some of his fights before we made these picks because I'm a Max Holloway fan. I like watching his fights, but he beat Brian Ortega so bad. There's a part in that fight where he stops in the middle of it and teaches him how to block his punches, and then
That's
continues to hit him.
Yeah.
I mean, it is wild. And like his last fight against Calvin Kattar, right? That's who it was.
Yeah.
Literally screaming at the other people and talking to him. Yeah, I know we just watched Hazmat do that, but I'm just saying, like, that's the dominance we're at. But the difference between Hazmat doing it is Hazmat's easily a top 5 fighter in welterweight, and he's fighting number 10, Jang Wei Lee over there. And, and then you got Max Holloway who's beating the top contenders in his thing. Let me put it this way. I know Max Holloway's not the champion, and we could sit here and have a discussion. He got robbed, he didn't, whatever. We're not going to have that. Alexander Volkanovski, the judges said he won. Then it's done deal. Don't matter what we think. But we'll say this, though. If you go watch the Brian Ortega Max Holloway fight, and then you go watch the Alexander Volkanovski and Brian Ortega fight, I think you could see who's the true champion there. But with that being said, Brian Ortega, that's a different Brian Ortega that fought Alexander Volkanovski that fought Max Holloway. But I'm just saying, when you watch them, you can tell the difference. But, that's all I wanted to say, was just I'm excited to watch Max Holloway fight. And I also want to say this. I don't know how many more fights Max Holloway has left in him. I know he's young, but he's been in wars, and he's fought a lot. So eventually, it don't matter how old you are. It's just the fight numbers catches up to you. So, I don't know how much longer we'll be seeing him, especially if he gets another chance at Volkanovski and isn't able to beat him. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Max has been in some wars, and it catches up with you. We've seen it with a lot of fighters. Who is it, right? Like, we just got done watching him fight.
Chandler?
No, well, he's one of them. It's catching up with him, but it's really more so on
Frankie
Edgar.
Edgar.
Frankie Edgar dropped from 135 to 125s and trying just to grasp at everything. What's the last 3 times he's been knocked out?
Yeah, it was.
He ain't got no chin now.
Yeah, it was. He went from 155 to 135, but
Well,
yeah.
150. He was champion at 155, and he went to 135. Now he's at 125. Am I right?
Yeah, I don't think he ever fought at 135. I think he went 145. I think he went straight from 155 to 1. He did fight at 145.
Oh, did he?
I thought you saying he was. Okay.
Oh no,
But, yeah.
no, I don't. At 145, but yeah, Max, it's going to catch up with him eventually, and we know Max don't have no massive amount of power. If he's going to put you away, it's going to be with, like Jake said, TKO. He's going to overwhelm you with punches or something, or doctor stoppage or something. Yep.
I was going to say, if I was a betting guy on a sports book, if I was 21, I would slap $10 down on a KO for Yair Rodriguez just in case, because you'd win too much money.
Why not?
Right.
Yeah, you'd win a pretty good amount of money because it's minus like 650?
Yeah.
That's good little money right there. So why not? Because there's a chance that happens. He's only got 2 losses. He's only been TKO'd once.
Yeah.
And the other was a doctor stop. I think the one TKO was a doctor stoppage, actually. So there's a good chance he has a hope to win. But
But yeah, that'll do it for us. Real fast, just some scores. Ravens are beating the Dolphins 3-0 at the beginning of the second quarter, and hold on. North Carolina is losing to Pittsburgh 23-7, almost at halftime. So, but that's about it. That'll do it
for us lose.
And that'll do it for our UFC picks, guys. Hopefully these age well. Appreciate it. You can trust us. I promise. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Go check out TikTok, Instagram, and all that good stuff. Twitter at boogie_sports_. That'll do it for us, and we'll see you guys later. Bye.
Later.